Welcome to another wash video. Today we're going to be washing Arctic Fox in the color Purple AF. So I'm going to take the dye directly from the container and I will apply it to the very top of the swatch, and then I will do a diluted version at the bottom of the swatch. For the diluted section, I'm not going to measure. The goal is more so just to lighten the color a little bit for anybody who has more of a pastel version of this, but I do use plain white conditioner as my diluter. I'm going to let this sit for about an hour. I will then rinse it out, not with any soap, I'll just rinse it out, and I'll meet you back here so we can see how it turns out. So I quickly want to go over my process before we get into this. I did want to try and make this a little bit more realistic than the average recommendations for colored hair. They usually recommend using cold water to keep color lasting longer. I opted for lukewarm water. And then they also recommend sulfate-free shampoos for colored hair. I opted to use a sulfate shampoo because they are more accessible. I also had to dry the hair to take pictures, but I did use my hairdryer on the cool setting. And as you could imagine, washing a swatch that many times, I did have to do this over the course of a few days. So the lighting environment changes a bit here and there in some of the photos. And also keep in mind, different monitors can make colors look different. I noticed that colors on my phone always look way more warm in undertone versus my computer. So this is the swatch, freshly colored and dried. Even though this is a pretty pigmented color, I wanted to wash it like a normal amount of times just to see what it would look like. So this is it washed 10 times. I think it is a little bit lighter overall, but it's still pretty pigmented looking. And from the beginning, the water was running pretty purple. I would say by the 5th wash is when it started to lighten up. This is 25 washes. Again, it's not a huge difference between 10 and 25. At this point, I would say the water was pretty much done running. It might have been a very light purple. It was kind of hard to tell, but it wasn't dark like it was between 0 and 5 washes. Then we went to 50 washes. And then 75 washes. I think here's where I see a bigger jump. The direct dye finally looks a little bit lighter, in my opinion. Then we did 100, and I was so shocked at how it turned out because it was just so dark still. I contemplated washing it more. I did end up washing it 125 times just to see if we could get anything different. Again, the lighting environment changed a little bit, but you can see it's really not that different from 100 washes. Now, once you see the before and after, you can definitely tell there is a difference, but this lasted way longer than I expected. And I could have kept going, but as you could imagine, washing a swatch so many times, it's a lot. So I did decide to cap it there. Now, if your hair is virgin hair, it probably will not last this long. This was a platinum blonde swatch that was likely very porous, so it really took the color, but I think it still says a lot on how pigmented this color is. So if you're looking for something that has good longevity, this would definitely be an option. If you have a request, I do have a link below to a Google form you can fill out. Just remember, I only do brands that do not test on animals. Thank you to my patrons, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.